Hey guys, Uncle Ray. Welcome to another episode of the Crypto Bellwether. On this channel, we cut through the hype and the noise, and I give you the non-biased information you can use to make informed decisions. Now, I do my research for me and I share with my community. And my goal is to get you in that 10% club. 90% of people that invest in crypto lose money, and I'm here to change that. So in this video, we're going to go through SUI and two projects in its ecosystem that I think are extremely good projects if you're looking for something to add to your portfolio. And then we're going to look at some charts, and I'm going to give you some price predictions, and I'm going to throw in some alpha. So hit that like button and let's dive into it. Now, right now, across the board, most things are green. It seems like the bottom is in. Can we go lower? Absolutely, and we probably will. But the overall bottom, I believe, was set in like the last 10 days, 10 days or more ago. Now, not to get off topic, but I just did a alert to short BSV. It was up at like 52%. That's too much for a day like this. And I think it's a good short for whatever that's worth. Now, I often tell people that if you want to make the big money and have the best risk reward portfolio, you want to look at new projects that have never experienced a bull run. Now, people won't tell you that, but it is a fact. It's not debatable. There's never been a token that has came out like in its second and third bull run and realistically made life-changing gains for anyone. There may be an exception here or there that I'm not aware of, but every token makes the big returns in its first bull run, and then it gets less and less, period. That's why tokenomics and market cap matter. Don't let anyone kid you. Now, to prove that point, before we get into these three projects, let's just scroll down and compare in the last month what projects have done. You can look at any legacy project you want. Bitcoin's up 10%. XRP's down 7.5%. Solana's up 10%. SUI up 42%. Brand new project, never experienced a bull run. Now, who's the next big one that pops up? None of the legacy tokens are up that much. Hyperliquid, brand new project on my watch list. Never experienced a bull run, up 33%. What else is up? The next one, BitTensor, up 38%. Never experienced a bull run. The next one, Caspa, up 36%. Never experienced a bull run. So when you go down and you look at these legacy projects, guys, none of them are hardly doing well. Stacks is up 22%. That's pretty good. But most of them are not doing anything compared to the new projects. Jasmine never experienced a bull run, up 46%. See, guys, let's see, what's this one? Onyx Coin never experienced a bull run, up 92%. The point about that is if you want to make if you want to make the big money and have the best risk reward, look at new projects. Another one, WALRUS, which we're going to be talking about, up 41%. Newly launched, never experienced a bull run. All right, let's dive into it. Well, one more piece of alpha. Guys, I just want you to think about something. I made a lot of videos and I'm going to keep harping on this. You know, when you get scared, you know, you get your emotions in this and just remember, 90% of everyone lose money. So when this got down in the red, I made videos saying I'm bullish. You should read the comments. No one was hardly buying. The 10% were stacking. And now they already have doubled or tripled their money depending on the projects. No matter what, they're doing well. And in a lot of projects, you can already take your initial investment out. But the point about that is, guys, we're at 52% on fear and greed. And this is as simple as it gets. You buy when it's orange and red, you start selling when it gets light green, and you damn sure get out when it gets dark green. It's that simple. And that's what smart money does. But what people are going to do, just like now, they're starting to get bullish. And if we have a good closing with the stock market this today, which I'm watching closely, which will be happening here shortly, we're probably going to have an extremely bullish weekend. So then the fear and greed index will probably already get into the green. So your risk, not your risk, but your odds will be more in the favor of the project going to lower than going higher. Right now, it's basically flip a coin. What's going to come next? Are we going to get orange and red again, or green and dark green next? It's 50-50. So guys, you always want to keep that in mind. All right, let's talk about SUI. New project, never experienced a bull run. Here's some more alpha for the people that haven't been around for a while, and I'm always talking about this. There's never been a project that isn't a layer one hit over 40 billion. So when people start telling you to buy projects like, say, Quant or Link, and they're going to make these life-changing gains, no, they're not. Probabilities are 100% thus far that they will not hit over 40 billion market cap. Keep that in mind. Doesn't mean they can't, but until they do, why would you believe they're going to go to 40 billion? So when you start calculating, think about that. Wow, never been a project like this ever hit 40 billion. Wow, for it to even do say a 10x has to get to 50 billion. That doesn't make any sense. All right. And the reason I bring that up is SUI is a top layer one, in my opinion. And I believe it will hit 40 billion, which is about a 10x from here. I believe that's right. No, that's only, for it to hit 40 billion, that's only about a 4x. But we're going to get into that more here in a second. But guys, this is a great project. It's getting adoption. And when you compare this type of project to all the layer ones, outside of Ethereum, which makes more money than SUI, has a bigger ecosystem and more adoption. Same with Solana. Same with Tron. And that's probably it. HBAR as well. But HBAR doesn't really make any money. That's the downside of HBAR. Not funny. But SUI wins in a lot of categories. I can't be more bullish. I wish I would have bought it way back in the day, but I didn't. I was late to the party, and the only reason for that was because the team behind it, which is a world-class team, but they came from Facebook, and at that time, I was very anti-Wall Street and damn sure anti-Facebook. So I was like, man, I didn't like the tokenomics. I didn't trust them, and I didn't think anyone would want to use them. I was wrong. And now that I see how great this tech is and how much adoption they're getting, guys, this has a future, or this has a chance to be one of the few tokens that are going to be around, say, 10 years from now as a good investment. Go take a look at SUI. All right. If you want to get a little bit more risky and you believe SUI is going to do extremely well like I do, well, just like all projects, it's going to need a DEX. And the number one DEX is CETUS protocol. And CETUS protocol has already did extremely well. If you bought that anytime in the first couple of months, or even toward the end of last year, you made like a 15x already. I have no doubt if SUI does well, that CETUS will make a new all-time high. That's all I care about, and that's what we're going to talk about when we take a look at and I'm going to give you some price predictions. Now, let's look at Walrus. Walrus just launched. I don't like the market cap, but it is great tech with a great team in the file storage arena. And it came out and did well, pulled back. I think this thing is going to compete with your ICP, Filecoin, and Arweave. Now, I ran it through Grok and broke it down. Supposedly has better tech, it's more scalable, it's cheaper. Everything about this project is better than what's on the market right now. A lot of people are going to be screaming, especially like in the ICP community, but I don't care. It is what it is. And with the tech and the team behind it and being on SUI, I think it has a great chance to get in that ballpark price wise. Now, let's look at something. If you are not familiar with market cap of, guys, it is a great tool because you can just go get real comparisons, right? When someone tells you something stupid about a number, like this project's going to do 1,000x, and you compare it to projects that came before it that had as much or more hype, it gives you a phenomenal comparison. Now, I'll give you an example. Here, you can type in SUI, and if SUI gets to where Solana is now, which SUI's already, almost doubled in the last couple of months, it's been going up while Solana's been going down. Well, that would be a 6 or 7x. I have no doubt. Now, there's no guarantees, but I have no doubt that SUI can get to where Solana is right now. Now, if you go to where Solana got to in the last bull run, that puts it at about an 11x, which I think that is a realistic goal. Now, I would think for me and my money, I'm going to be out way before that, somewhere in between. So I think, for me, I stacked a little bit of SUI right at $2. And I wish I would have stacked more, but I didn't. But I did. I do have a decent little bag. But I will be taking out my initial investment as soon as I can. Period. That's my new goal. I'm not here to hold this thing forever. I'm just going to take my money out. I have no risk and then keep taking profits along the way. I can buy it back because no matter how we feel, guys, these things aren't just going to keep going up, up, and up, and we're in altcoin season. They keep exploding. Just like the pain we just are coming out of, there's more to come. It may be tomorrow. It may be 90 days from now, 6 months from now, but there's more pain to come. Always take your profits. You become the profits. All right, let's look at CETUS. I compared CETUS to Raytheon, which is the #1 DEX on Solana. For it to get to where Raytheon is now, which Raytheon just had a big collapse because of pump fund announcement and all that stuff, that's a say 6x to get to where it is now. I don't see why that's not remotely conservative. But if it gets to the all-time high, that's about a 17, 18x. Now, I don't know if it's going to get that high. That would be its all-time high for the last bull run, but cut that in half. I believe a conservative price point for CETUS would be a 10x, 11x, something like that. Now, because WALRUS is too new, you couldn't type it in the market cap of, so I went and got Grok to do the numbers for me. And roughly, if WALRUS gets to where Filecoin got in the last bull run, not to where Filecoin might get to this bull run, that's about a 15x. So somewhere cut that in half, 7x, maybe a 10x is a very conservative play, in my opinion. That being said, guys, I'm extremely bullish on SUI and all the projects that have never experienced a bull run. Don't let people kid you. These old tokens that they may do well. And if we have the altcoin season that I think we're going to have, everything's going to do well. But I want the highest probability and the biggest returns for my money. And it's going to be the new tokens. And where is it going to be? In the hot sectors. And thus far, it's been AI, AI agents, gaming, something on the base ecosystem, and a meme coin. Period. You need one of those tokens in every sector, in my opinion. And if you want to play the odds, find a new project that have never experienced a bull run in those hot sectors. So anyway, guys, if you need some help figuring all this stuff out, I do one-on-one coaching. I do 3 Zoom calls. I have a coaching course that has the same type of information with 1 Zoom call. I have a shorting course, which I believe is the best way to make money. And I also just launched a new inner circle. So if you need some help learning how to compare these projects, how to understand tokenomics, how to dollar cost average in and out, I'm there to help you. But no matter what, guys, whether you take me up on that or not, and I'll leave a link down below in the comments and in the description, whether you take me up on that or not, do yourself a favor. Take profits or become the profits and get a game plan and stick to it. And guys, I highly recommend this is some free alpha. Don't set a price point. Don't say, okay, when my favorite token gets to this price, right? If you do that, what happens if it doesn't get there? You miss the entire bull run. Because unless this cycle ends up being different, which I can't even imagine that because of tokenomics, that when this bull run's over, which is sometime, in my opinion, between now and by the latest, the first quarter of 2026, which I've extended by about 3 months because of liquidity and what's going on in the market. But in the middle of, say, 2026, if history is our guide, which it is, 99% of all these tokens are going to be down. They're going to be cut in half, heading down 80% to 90, 97%, just like history shows us. The only tokens that I believe will have a chance not to fall, way down will be any project that gets an ETF. I still believe that they will be cut in half or more. It really depends how it works out. Bitcoin, I think this is the last time you'll ever get crazy prices. In the last cycle, it went to 15.8. The equivalent might be, 40 or 30 in the bear market. I don't see that happening. I believe I don't believe that you're ever going to be able to buy, say, $60,000 Bitcoin again. And once this cycle's over, let's just say hypothetically it hits 150 or 200, you might not be able to buy it under 75 or even 100. And I believe because of the ETF and what's going on with Michael Saylor and Wall Street and the governments, that it's just going to separate itself after this bull run. And cryptos are not going to follow Bitcoin in the bear. So Bitcoin might make a new all-time high in the middle of 2026, 2027. There will not be an altcoin making a new all-time high in the middle of 2026, in my opinion. Now, that is subject to change. But until, like I was talking about earlier, there's never been a token go over 40 billion market cap that wasn't a layer 1. So until that happens, that's going to be my rule. Why would you want to bet on something that has to be the exception to the entire history and the entire market as an investment? Doesn't make sense. Anyway, guys, that's all I got. Tell me what you think in the comment section. Hit the like button and come back and be part of this community. Take care, guys.